Okay, this is soap tallow making, and we'll be making a cream here before long, part 2. In the previous video, I showed you how to weigh out all the oils and the tallow, and we just use the immersion blender and the hot process soap. Flip you around and let you see where that. Here it is. I'll be using honeysuckle essential oil in this soap. Lots of different oils, so if you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch part 1 so you can get caught up. This is, you know, what they call like a thick trace, kind of like pudding. So this is why, I don't know, might be too high of a temperature, but it always does this every time I try to do my immersion. So at this point, I'll just leave the lid off of it, because hot process soap, if you're not careful, bubbles get in it, it gets too hot, it will like lava up, and it like comes up. I have had soap lava out on me and overflow before, and it's a huge mess, and I just would like not to happen. So here's how our tallow is doing. It's still melting, still melting, still melting. So I know this takes a lot of time to render out tallow like this. Be able to, but to buy it is really expensive, and this is one of those things I'd rather spend my time on than, you know, spend ridiculous amounts of money on tallow that I can do myself. I like doing things myself. I like making things myself. Some people said it's hippie and whatnot. I don't know. I'm still, a lot of people say it's gross, a lot of people, but for me it's interesting. I do not use stearates in any of my stuff as well. That's actually tallow mixed with lime and heated under a lot of pressure, and it just, I don't see that being anything type of good to put on your skin. The cream we're gonna make, I also don't use alcohol in, because I don't see that being any type of good to put on your skin. So people want to talk about, you know, organic this and organic that, but yet use all kinds of bad things in their products. So just be watchful. The reason I show you everything I use is so you know exactly what I use. So the reason I tell you what I use, so you know exactly what I use in my products, and you can see I don't hide anything, and you can choose whether, you know, you want to make it, you want to change something, don't want to change something. Oh, let me show you. Let me flip you. Okay, here you go. It's kind of like an applesauce stage. Looks like applesauce. That's why I took the lid off. I don't know if you've seen it went down or not. Now this is about the point in time I want to ready my essential oil bubbles. You see the bubbles? Soponification. It's bubbles. I love it. And each batch of soap is so different. It all acts differently. It, you know, you can use the same oils 5 times, and most of the time, you know, you're gonna see just little differences. So if you like little magics in the world, that's a good way. Okay, for my essential oil, my recipe calls for about 1.5 ounces. So that in my essential oil, steam distilled. Fragrance oil is not essential oil. Essence oil is not essential oil. Essential oil is steam distilled, cold pressed, stuff like that. If it's fragrance or essence oil, it's probably not something you want to use. Just saying. There are some you can do. Like if it cold press is like the oil you would steep. You know, you can make your own oils by like I got a little dropper with it. I love it when they send me those things with my oils. When I buy oils, you know, this is glass. It's not plastic. That's the other thing. You want it dark bottle and glass. If it's in plastic, it's going to break down your oil. If it's in a light colored bottle, it's going to break down your oil. I use this on, use my essential oils in a lot of things. Soaps and balms and creams. I'll actually be using it in that today. The gal that wanted this was super excited because she said, hey, can you get me some honeysuckle? I can't find it anywhere. I said, well, of course. So I got this off of Amazon. It smells so good. This was about $17 for the bottle. So that's one. I'm just going to put the cap back on that. And I'm going to show you the soap because this is going to go fairly quickly. Some oils coming out of there. See those oils? Just going to want to stir that all back together. At this point, if you use the immersion blender, which I'm not going to, this would start gelling really fast. I don't want it to gel fast. I want to be able to get my essential oils in there, and I want to be able to get in the mold and make it look nice. If you didn't want to do this at such a high temperature for slower, you could turn this on low. However, like I told you guys in the first video, we are actually going through a remodel. He is at the store getting stuff for plumbing right now. So I'm trying to get this done before he gets back so that I can help him as well. The tallow, I'll just have to bump in and out and show you guys what's going on with it through the day because it's going to take all day. And then show you how to strain it and what I put in it. So, alright. This kind of applesauce pea stage in between. And I'm super excited because I have indigo powder today. I have been struggling to make blue soap. I bought one indigo powder and it was green. It turned everything green. I was so upset. And I watched another video. I bought the wrong powder. So this time I bought the right powder. So we're going to see if I can make some blue soap later. I might record that too because I'm just really excited about it. Maybe it'll help somebody trying to also make blue soap. There is supposedly an indigo dye that you can use. The only dye I seen was synthetically made. So the gal that I seen that used it in one of her rainbow soaps, I'm sorry I don't remember her channel. I messaged her and was like, what dye did you use? I can't find it. So I'm waiting to see if she can get back to me on it. So in the meantime, alright, we'll just use indigo and practice with that. So I got 1 ounce of oil ready. Soap. I love watching the soap. Here's a beard balm that I make that we're going to make into a cream. I do plan on showing you guys how to do that. So, right. Okay. There's a lot of oil in there. We want it's kind of starting to do its jelly thing. You want it like mashed potato consistency. It's not quite mashed potato-y. So we just want it to cook. Yep, I said cook. You want to use saponification. Look at that beautifulness. You guys can find me on Facebook. I have a group called Hebrew Creations. You can message me with any questions you have, or if you want to order a specialty soap. If you have something you can't find, a scent you can't find, this is just my passion. My terms may not be correct. You might think I'm a country bumpkin. You might think, oh, she don't edit her videos. You know, I don't care about all that. I care about my passion. I care about life. I care about inspiring other people, and I care about scripture. So, right, that's a little bit say about me. I don't like fake. That's why I don't edit my videos. I pause the videos and I restart the videos, but I'm not all for fake people or fake videos. I like to watch raw videos, especially when I'm learning, because I not only want to see the successes, I also want to see the fails of people. So I know what not to do, you know, learning from others. It's going to come up nicely. So if you're one of those people, oh, great to have you. If you're here, if you're going to come and watch us and be a negative Nelly, or what most people nowadays call a Karen, please just don't. I've been making soap for several years now. I've had successes. I've had fails. I'm all for, you know, if you are a fellow soap maker and been, you know, a senior soap maker, not that you're old, but been making it, you know, for several years, and you have some tricks and tips to share with me, I'm all for that. Ooh, it's gonna mash up. Sorry, you guys couldn't even see. This is why I need my tripod. Mash up nice. So you can tell the thickness now. The other thing is, when I'm learning, this is why my videos are so long, because, you know, people skip stuff. You know, like, they don't show some of the little intricacies that they do. And for me, I feel like, you know, that's kind of important. So that's why my videos are so long. That's why I show you guys, or attempt to show you guys, everything that I do with the soap. Hot process soap is one of the easier soaps to make. Like I said, I'm just getting into the cold process soap making. It's a little bit more intricate. It's a little bit more trickier. Hot process soap, you can do two things with. Once it's made, you can use it immediately. That's the best thing about hot process soap. You can more than definitely use it immediately. Cold process soap, you have to let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks, so that the lye, you don't get lye burn from it. Hot process soap, you can use immediately. You can also let it sit and harden up a little bit. It's really up to you. But I don't have a lot of room in my house, so a lot of the times my bars are freshly made. And I'm always looking for new ideas. You see it's mashing up. I want it a little bit thicker before I take it out of the crock pot, because that's just, there's still some oils. I don't know if you can see on top of the soap. However, at this point, if you really wanted to, you could take this out and put it in your mold. And it would be fine. Oh, one other thing I mentioned, and I did not mention when I mixed the lye together for the soap while you're watching it, is use plastic or wood for your lye. Iron, I believe it is, will react with your lye and it won't be good. I accidentally did that and used the metal spoon just from my drawer. Not thinking, I went outside to mix my lye and it had a very bad reaction. So I don't suggest using metal for any part of the lye process. Use plastic, Pyrex, or wood. Ceramic, obviously. So it's pretty mashed potato-y. Mashed potatoes. It's heaping up like mashed potatoes. Still got a little bit of oil on top. And my recipe, I had to double check, because I told you guys it was 1.5 ounces. It's actually 1 ounce. It's pretty gelled. Pretty mashed potato-y. I don't think I really want it to get much more. Usually wait until the whole batch becomes one. Looks like most of the oils are absorbed now. Sorry, this is hard to do one-handed with the camera in your hand, so if I'm a little jumpy, I apologize. Just trying to show you guys all of it. Alright, I think at this point I'm going to pull. This is, see, we gotta move that. See if I can do this one-handed. My oil's ready. if you leave it in the crock pot, that's for the cream we're going to make here shortly, too long, it will get hard fast. So what I want to do is this. I'm going to pull it out of that. I don't want this to get too hot. Alright, now we definitely got some mashed potato going on. Just going to stir it a little bit. This is where you have your mold ready to go. Okay. If you're not an online shopper, you can also find a lot of this stuff at like a Hobby Lobby. You know, and ladies, if your hubby gives you trouble, just remind him his craft store is the tool store, and they use them like we use craft stuff. So, okay, so I have my 1 ounce of essential oil ready to go. So I'm just gonna kind of slowly pour that in. I want it to be incorporated, but this is going to also cool it off. It smells so good. And to the gal who requested this soap, thank you so much for allowing me to make it for you. She allowed me to make this video. I always get excited when people want me to make soap for them. Okay, now before it gets much more, we want to get it in our mold. So let's see if I can do this one-handed so I can get a decent pour. I made some honey and oatmeal soap the other day, and it hardened like so fast, and I was really a little concerned that it wasn't gonna set up right or something. Shake it around, get it in there. Here we go. Smells so good. Everybody has always told me about honeysuckle and what it does. And last summer I was walking the dogs and I was out. Yeah, I'm noisy, sorry. Walking the dogs, and I kept smelling like a beautiful scent, and I couldn't find it. I was like, what is that flower? Actually, come to find out, it was a little yellow flower. And I did some research on it because I really wanted to try and make some cold processed oil, cold pressed with it, which is pretty well, you take your herb or your flower and just put it in some olive oil for about 4 to 6 weeks, or grapeseed oil, sweet almond oil, any type of oil like that. And you put it in a cabinet and shake it once or twice every week. And then it takes on the scent of the oil, or it's supposed to. I've tried this with some smaller things, and I didn't have a whole lot of luck with olive oil. So push it down. It's cooling off. You see the white bits? Yeah, it cools off pretty fast. So this is hot. Don't do this. I like to make sure it's pretty flat in there. Yes, I get burned because this is hot, 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 hot. before I do more damage than good. Okay, now we're just gonna let that set up. There is that. There's our crock pot. Make sure you turn that off. Okay. Get all of our oils out. So we're just gonna let this sit up for a couple of hours, and then I'll bring you guys back and show you how I cut it. I'll get my fingers out of it. Told you I'm not patient. I'm a very touchy feely type of person, but like, look, this is what, I don't know if you can see that, like all that, even though it's drying on the top, everything underneath is still like jelly matter. So that corner didn't want to go in there very well, but that's okay. This is kind of one reason I went into wanting to do the cold process soaps, because the tops I cannot get very even. Again, that might be due to like the hot process. Don't touch your soap, it's hot. I'm just a very handsy person. However, at this point it is no longer caustic, and you won't get light burn, but it is hot, so you will get burn. Okay, we'll let this sit, and these little soap bits, once they cool anyway, show you what you can do with them. I don't want to touch them because I don't want to get burned. Oh, I guess I should show you what I'm doing here. Okay, those cool, and then I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so it's cold. It's still warm, but it's not hot. Take it. You can put it in a ball. Just kind of work it. I usually use 2 hands to do this so it gets compacted better, but I only have one. It's not caustic. It is warm. I'm always freezing, so kind of gives me the ability to sometimes, let's see. I don't know if I can do this or not. Let's see. Let's see if I can. I'll have to do it over here. No. Okay, hold on. Okay. Just kind of compact it together. Take more soap bits if you want to. I'm just going to make a soap ball with it. Sometimes you have to add just a tiny bit of water. Water binds. Okay, so it's crumbling on me. Show you. Thought I'd be able to do this where, again, trying to do it with one hand is hard. Okay, so then you just let your little ball sit and harden with the rest of your soap, and then you have a ball of soap. I don't know if I want to put that there. Just set it there. Let it cool. Okay, so let me wash my hands because I have soap flakes. Maybe I'll show you guys the soap and how it works. Okay, so here's just a little bit of the honeysuckle soap I made. I have to wash my hands, so I just thought I'd show you how this works. So nice and bubbly. It's beautiful bubbles. Little bubbles. No lye burn. All my soaps do this. This is honey and oatmeal remains. So this is a ball I made the other day when I made some honey and oatmeal soap. There's bubbles. This is why I add castor oil. I love bubbles. There you go. That's how my soaps work. Okay, so I have my ball that I was able to make with the soap. So now I still have some little bits in there. What I do with those little bits is I scrape the rest of this out and I save my little bits of soap. What I do with these is you can add water to these. There's lemon poppy seed, there's some pine tar, there's probably some oatmeal soap in there. You can continue to make little balls of soap by adding water and pushing them together, or you can take these little bits and put them in a jar and make balls as you need them, or melt them down in some hot water and make some liquid soap. So let me grab that and I'll show you what that kind of looks like for me. Okay, these are the liquid soaps that we use, that I make from the little soap bits. I take these, I melt them down in water. I add water until I like the consistency. You can see there's some water separation, which is okay, because if you take this and you shake it really good, it all goes back together. This is just part of making natural products. We have found, it just becomes more of a gel when I use the bar soap rather than the other lye. And what you can do is we use some of this and then we will add like more water into it, and then it kind of gives you this, which is really awesome if you guys wanted to play around, or like I said, I do make it. You're probably, honestly, I've tried to use the other type of lye and I get so frustrated with the dilution process, but this seems to do the trick. I prefer this type of soap. My daughter likes this type of soap. The other thing you can do when you're making your liquid soap is you can add oils into this. So like if you get this, you make this, or if you want it from me, you can add in jojoba oil, castor oil, oregano oil, tea tree oil. You can add in any essential oil of your choice into these and make it whatever, because when you heat, what I have found, when you heat your little bits, I usually strain it, especially because sometimes there's poppy seeds, but it kills any essential oil that's really in there. Now you're gonna have trace amounts of, like pine tar and other stuff like that, but I mean, I guess it's all up on your preference. So that being said, let's go. There's soap. Look at our tallow. It's rendering down very nicely. Couldn't tell you what time it is right now because I've been filming all morning. It's all just melting away. I only put a quart of water in here. That's all that's in here. So everything down here that you see the oil on top, that's all tallow. So we're just gonna keep rendering here. Keep you guys updated on it. Okay, so here's this one. I just wanted to kind of show you guys how it works. All the difference really is the consistency. Kind of bumpy, but works the same way. Bubbles up fine. Bubbles essentially diluting soap. Okay, so that was the more liquidy soap. This is the firmer soap. So I'll see if I can show you that. Okay, so this is a little bit chunkier, which means the soap pieces just haven't fully dissolved. No, we don't use this amount. I'm just trying to show you the texture of it. Okay, so they dissolve in your hand, your hair. Suds up very nice like. See? So there you go. That's my liquid soap. Okay, so the soap is done. It's drying, so it can be cut. I just showed you guys the tallow. The other thing I need to do today is make some honeysuckle cream. So I have my beard balm. Make this in 16-ounce jars. And I'm going to make cream out of this. And I'll show you how I do that. I use this in my hair. I use it on my skin. This is a balm, so it is fairly hard. However, when you put it on your skin, a little bit goes a long way. See if I can show you. It melts. So it's a very creamy. You can use it in your hair. You can use it on your skin. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. It's very hydrating. So what's in my balm? It's beeswax, coconut oil, olive oil. I use wheat germ oil and jojoba oil to make my balm. So let me get everything ready for that, and I'll show you how we make cream from. Okay, so now we're gonna make the balm, and I have accidentally ended part 2 twice, so I'm gonna have to like scrunch all these together, which is okay, but just gonna get raw scrunching. So we have the balm. This is water. Now ideally with soap and products you want to use distilled water. I have my scale, I have my bowl. I'm out of distilled water, so I just use boiled water right now in my tea kettle. You boil it once, boil it twice, you know, you just want to get all the yuck out. So I use boiled water for my stuff. So now we're gonna measure out of my balm, and so I got about 8 ounces of water. Okay, we're gonna put that in a bowl. See, in this way I had 8 ounces, my scale's saying 6.6 ounces. So it's not accurate like I said in part 1. So I'm just gonna put that out. I want to show you guys this because we need 8 ounces of the balm. Let's see if I can do this one-handedly. Could get interesting. Let's see. Oh, I gotta send to the rescue. We have to make more of this, but that's okay. That goes into the water, and we're just gonna weigh out 8 ounces. Now this is gonna fluff up because, again, we'll put this on the stove and create a double boiler, and we're gonna kind of melt all this together. I have the immersion blender cleaned with vinegar and hot soapy water, so that's ready to go. Just don't want no cross contamination. Ooh. Okay. Said it's very hard. .9. The gal that wanted this wanted 16 ounces. If I make more, that's okay. It won't go to waste. I can use it. I can sell it. I can do whatever. I do have an actual cream recipe that I make. 8.2. It's 8.1. And there's almost 8 ounces of cream. Now, see, there's my balm. It's not so pretty anymore because I just scraped everything out of it. I got some on my fingers. See, just into your skin. A little bit goes a very, very, very long way. My spoon is 7 ounces. 0.7 ounces actually. Okay, I will show you my double boiler shortly. Okay, so I'll show you my double. I got a cast iron pot. This is a Pyrex bowl. Put it on top. It's water in the pot. Oh, I'm just gonna let this all kind of melt down and together. I'll show you the next step after it's melted. Again, patience, 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 waiting, waiting, waiting. That's what we do. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so our oils and our water are melted down, as you can see. Let's see if I can show you. See, there's water, oil separation there. There's beeswax in this, which is a I can't remember what it's called, but it binds the water and the oil together. So at this point, now that we've heated it, now we're going to let it cool a little bit, and then we're going to bring back out our immersion blender. We're going to immerse this. So when you hear the word immersion, it forces 2 or more particles together. So we're going to let this cool just a little bit. And what you need, you just need a jar. I use mason jars. Brand new mason jar, nice and clean for the gal that's wanting this. So she wants 16 ounces. So we're just gonna let this cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna use our immersion blender. Okay, so I'll bring you guys back when we're ready for that. Also, I have my essential oil ready to go, because this is going to be honeysuckle as well, but you don't want to add it in too hot because heat will actually kill the essential oils. So I'll bring you guys back here shortly. I'm going to continue stirring this just to help push it together, and then here shortly we'll use the immersion blender and blend it once it's cooled down a little bit more and starts to harden up a little bit. Okay, so you can start to see a film develop on the top of that. At this point, I'm going to start immersion blending it. It's nice and clean. Vinegar and hot water to clean it. I find it very kind of difficult for this because if you see, my blender doesn't go all the way down, so I'm just going to start blending it. It's going to go to like an applesauce stage, and this also has several kind of stages to it. And again, this isn't, fully cold, so what you're seeing is pretty well hot, but forcing water into the oil and the wax. So I think that's going to be good. We may have to emulsify it some more as it cools because the water and the oils will attempt to separate, and you just got to keep emulsing them. However, this will give a nice thick, beautiful cream. See, it's starting to kind of thicken up here. But I'll bring you guys back here in just a few minutes as it cools and show you the stages of what I do to it, okay? Okay, so the water, you can see, I don't know if you can see the water trying to separate. So this is only going to absorb so much of that water, which is okay because it's that fluffy cream that we want. So I'm just going to kind of stir this together at this point. And all that, I use a lot of water because I really want this fluff. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to end up draining out this excess water. I had a cup here. Let me grab a cup and I will just show you. Okay, so I'm just gonna drain out that water because it's coming out of it. Even if I emulsify it at this point, that water won't be absorbed, but you can start to see that thick cream that we want in there. So it's puffed up, it's beautiful, it's soft, it's creamy. Oh, that's what we want. Before I drain out all of this, I'll drain out some more. Okay. I will do one more emulsification before I get all of it out, but you can see how much more puffed up it is rather than the Beard Balm. So really good consistency, and I've tried several recipes to make egg cream, And this just seems to be the best. It doesn't have alcohol, it doesn't have anything, and it's just really good all over for your skin. My kids, when they get, you know, rough dry patches from whatever, they go to the Beard Balm and this cream because it helps with the dry itchiness, it helps with everything really. So just gonna keep, if you didn't want to do the straining part, you can probably use half as much as water. And you can see we used 8 ounces, so there's only like 4 ounces in there. So you could probably, if you wanted to make this, just lessen how much water you use. It's pretty creamy though. I don't think I need to emulsify it again. So I am gonna go ahead and put, let's see, and you know, the bad part is a lot of your lotions at the store have stearates and alcohol, and this is just proving you don't need any of that to make a nice creamy thick. You just need an emulsifying wax. That's what the beeswax is called. I get my beeswax from local beekeepers around me. I will find different ones, and because I clean my own wax, they are always happy to help me and give me a discount. If they clean it, of course I have to pay the price. So I try not to. So now we're gonna just put our essential oil in here. Again, part of making natural and organic things is, you know, the store-bought stuff is not always the, per se, the best. And for this, because this gal was really so excited about the honeysuckle oils, I'm just gonna put a couple of dropperfuls in so she gets a nice full amount, and it's not something that's like overpowering like lavender. My kids haven't killed me yet from essential oil smells. My family is sensitive to smells, so having to be careful about how much I use where with what scent is always an essential. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna finish letting it cool. I'm gonna let all that kind of mingle together because I don't want to put it in the jar if I need to add a little bit of water back to it. You don't want it hard, you want it soft and fluffy. I don't think I'm gonna have to add oil back to it because this is pretty fluffy in of itself. This is a consistency kind of like to see. I'd call this like maybe a pudding-ish consistency. But I'm gonna let this sit and mingle, cool down for, I don't know, probably about 30 minutes, because right now the bottom of the bowl is not hot, but it is warm. And so what I have found sometimes is you put it, if you jar it too early, sometimes it's harder than what you want it, and you just really want that creamy consistency to stay. So just gonna let it cool. So you guys, if you wanted to color this too, you could use natural colorants in this, and you could make different colored cream. So it'll absorb the same as your soaps, but it would be pretty cool. So, well, I'll be back once this cools down. Okay, so I'm gonna emulsify this again, I'm going to show you what it does once it's cooled a little bit more. So there's your cream. Natural, organically made, no alcohol, beautiful, white. That's what you want right there. And I did not let this cool for 30 minutes, just so you're aware. I let it cool for probably about 5 minutes. And so I know I got some chunks in here, so I'm going to scrape all this down, scrape all that out. This hand cream is, like I said, something that my kids absolutely love. And a little bit of this, just like the balm, goes a very, very, very long way. So you don't need a whole lot of this to rehydrate your skin or to do much of anything with. So I'm going to immerse this and we'll be back. Okay, so here's our beautiful, lovely cream for our hands. I love it. Thick but not runny. It's nice and beautiful and creamy. Here's our jar. It's what I use to put all my products in, as jars. So you can put this in a couple of ways. You could pipe it in. I don't have my piping stuff out, and I've already created a huge mess today. So we're just going to spoon this into the jar, because at this point I'm pretty sure that this is not going to harden up on me. It's nice and creamy, you know. So I did add a little bit more essential oil to this. So she would get a nice honeysuckle smell in her creams. Piping is probably better, because if you see the top of that jar, you'll have to clean it up. That's okay though. So we're going to continue filling this jar as I continue to make a huge mess. Piping would probably make this better. I've recently just got some piping stuff, so I will probably start piping it in, because I don't like a lot of messes. However, you know, it is what it is at this point. It just is. I don't know what else I can do. So my goal here is just to kind of try and teach you guys, you know, show you some of my techniques. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. That's perfectly okay. I know for myself, I find it easier to follow some other than others, especially when I'm trying to learn how to do something. So Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep filling this jar up with her cream and keep cleaning up the rim of this because it is a huge mess. I'll have to take a tissue around and clean all that up for her. So anyway, we will be back. Okay, I'll be smushing a whole bunch of videos together. So, because I keep accidentally stopping them, but that's okay. Cream, ready to go. All cleaned up on the inside. Here's the mess left over, so we'll be taking care of that. So I just want to show you that. While I'm at it, I can show you our soap is still hot. You can feel the heat from it, but it's the honeysuckle soap that we made today. So we'll be cutting that here in a few hours. And then I can show you, I'll give you an update right fast on our tallow that's melting down. It's doing wonderful. So I'm pretty excited about all that, so I can have my tallow back. So, alright, well, there is that for the moment.